People are body shaming Sydney Sweeney. Calling her pretty isn't the solution. The actor, who is due to play legendary boxer Christy Martin, has recently been subjected to a barrage of body shaming insults from internet sleuths. Yesterday, in the middle of my doom-themed bedtime reading Andrew Whitty's New York Times op-ed, A Virtual Detour to Damascus for Newly Horrifying Reports from Sednaya, This Fresh Hell, my editor DM'd me a reel from Sydney Sweeney. You can watch it for yourself, or you can read the several dozen articles already live about how she hit out, clapped back, and shut down, body shamers go off, queen, etc. To give you the Reader's Digest version, though, Sweeney, whose insistence on having breasts has prompted some of the most unhinged discourse of 2024, posted dozens of shots from tabloid comment sections, the unhappiest place on earth, except for X. In said screen grabs, various individuals with what I'm sure are fulfilling sex lives were criticizing her for being a butterface, J Master Rocks, Iglooval, Antarctica, having public hair, Melly M, Washington, D.C., and looking like a lion seal during breeding season, dirty grandad, Sao Paulo, Brazil, an insult that reads a bit like Nick Fuentes kidnapped David Attenborough and forced him to say something mean about someone. Sweeney, to her credit, appears to have taken all of this on the chin. You guys can all judge her if you want, but she doesn't care. She has never, ever been happier. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, closing parenthesis dot. Her reel, you see, cuts suddenly to Joey Valence and Bray-backed clips of her in a Rocky Balboa-style training montage. The only gymnasiums I've ever spent extended periods of time in are the ones in Pompeii and Ephesus, so I cannot describe the training routine she's doing for you in much detail. Suffice to say, the vibe is very much the Grinch lifting a sleigh over his head meets $1 Million Baby. At one point, she flips over a tire so large I can only assume it was ripped from a U.S. Army vehicle left over from Desert Storm. In another, she hangs upside down on a machine I'm 72% sure Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele shagged on in 50 Shades Darker. I understand the impulse behind both, I condone neither. Sweeney is, of course, far closer to the culture at large's platonic ideal of symmetrical blonde womanhood than many, and she is doubtless spared much of the vitriol that other women in the public eye, most women in the TikTok age, really aren't. But to embody a patriarchal fantasy is its own special hell, one in which your cast is sexually available at every turn and read for filth when you threaten to rupture that delusion. Let's recall, if we must, the feature that ran in The Spectator after Sweeney's SNL appearance, trumpeting the return of the giggling blonde with an amazing rack, and the end of red-blooded men having to walk on eggshells when it came to their overt desire for them. Declaring that she's passionate about the fighting world, Sweeney explained, I feel compelled to tell a story about a woman who faced so much adversity and didn't allow it to defeat her. It's powerful and emotional.